game was so bad, it was honestly funny. Raiders get trounced by the Kansas City Chiefs in a blowout, 48-9 final score. This game was over before it started. The Raiders fumbled on the first play of the game. The most overrated running back I've ever seen, Josh Jacobs, with the fumble. He did terrible. He averaged 2.7 yards a carry. I mean, come on. This guy's supposed to be good. He's not. Long story short, but yeah, the Raiders did terrible today, only scoring one touchdown. The only receiver that actually made an impact was Hunter Renfrow, and Derek Carr just only throws to him, so that's probably part of the reason why. Not, excusing the fact that, like, literally every other receiver isn't open ever because their route running is terrible, and that probably goes back to the fact that Rich Bisaccia is a horrible coach, and I know he's an interim coach, but it doesn't mean to excuse the fact that he's a horrible coach. Kansas City Chiefs it was, a dominant victory. GG to my friend Chiefs raised Bulls on the other side of things, but this is a horrible performance. I mean, it was like 35-0 at one point. I think it was just terrible at halftime. I think it was 35-3, and yeah, the Raiders just couldn't get anything going. Like, what they do is their play calling is so bad that they'll run the ball on first and second down or throw like a screen pass, and then they end up with 3rd and 8. And they can't convert on that very often. Their only touchdown was to Hunter Renfrow, and that was in the 4th quarter. They also, that was in the 3rd quarter, and they didn't get the extra point, so that was 6 points. And then they got a field goal right before the half ended, so those were 9 points total. Terrible game. I wanted Derek Carr to get benched because, a lot of people, like ignorant Las Vegas Raider fans that didn't watch the team when they were in Oakland, say, Carr is the answer, right? Like, Carr isn't the problem. And I got news for you. Derek Carr is the problem. All he does is he throws checkdowns, and when he tries to throw deep, he overthrows his receivers. And then in the the post-game press conference, he's like, "Oh, that's all me. That's all me." And it's like, when is the change going to happen? It's never going to happen. This game was pretty similar, actually worse, to the last time we played the Chiefs. At least that one had some close aspect to it at some points in the game. Terrible game, though, for the Raiders. This is like the worst Raiders game I've seen in a long time. The Chiefs are, on a 6-game win streak. Their defense has done a lot better. The Raiders had 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. You love to see that, right? Derek Carr fumbled the ball. Hunter Renfrow even fumbled the ball. Obviously, Jacobs on the first play of the game. Moreau fumbled the ball. They were horrible. This was an absolute beat down, and the Raiders are now last in the AFC West. They were already, so it doesn't make a difference. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They've lost 5 of their last 6. They're a joke, absolute joke, and I don't want to say I told you so, but I could kind of see this coming. The Raiders always start very, very strong, and then they fall down, and they fall to pieces, they collapse. And I put a lot of that blame on Derek Carr because he, is a good quarterback. I think that's maybe even a stretch, but do good quarterbacks take your team to the playoffs? Not very often, no. Good quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls either, and he's average at best, really, in my opinion. The Raiders have just been offensively horrible, terrible. It's been a theme for them ever since the first game. And their offense is just, it's a liability. Their offensive line too, and that was probably a cause of a lot of the turnovers. It's just frustrating to see that. The Raiders, found themselves down 28-0 at one point in the 2nd quarter, and they fumbled away the ball. It was just terrible, and the Chiefs just put them away. It was quite simply just a beatdown. Patrick Mahomes had a pretty good game for Kansas City. He ended up throwing for 258 yards. He only incompleted 4 passes, and he had 2 touchdowns. The leading rusher for the Chiefs was actually Derek Gore, who had a touchdown. He looked pretty good in this game. Tyreek Hill had 76 receiving yards. For the Raiders, it was Hunter Renfrow, obviously. Carr had 263 passing yards. He had a lot of incompletions, though. He also threw an interception, which I think was the Moreau fumble. That it wasn't really a fumble. The ball popped up. But yeah, this game was just awful. We're going to play the Browns on a Saturday next week. I don't expect us to win that because they just beat the Ravens. This was a horrible game. Jeez, this was unbearable. It was almost funny at one point, like classic Raiders fashion, right? And people will still defend the team. People will just say, "Oh, it's a bad game. We'll bounce back." No, I don't defend the Raiders, and I don't defend the fan base either. most ignorant fan base in football. I'm sorry to say that. I think it's even more ignorant than the Cowboys fan base. The Raider fans that truly believe that this team has what it takes to go to a Super Bowl or even the playoffs at this point, delusional. Okay, this team is bound for nothing. It's ridiculous. They're terrible. It's just a common theme. It's a cycle of pain with the Raiders. You start strong, you hit a little plateau, and then everything crashes and burns. And this is the third year in a row. We started out 5-2, and now we're 6-7. That's a very big, decline. 48-9 final. Chiefs moved to 9-4. I don't appreciate this play by the Raiders. And fans will still defend Derek Carr and the coaching and the terrible play on all accounts. It's just the culture now that the team's in Las Vegas. The fans are different, and I hate to realize that, but that's it. Pretty much, Raiders are going to move on, hopefully, and finish the season strong. I don't know. I guess I want a good draft pick at this point. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys later. Go Raiders.